You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important. Some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
Tired straight away. I'll tell you why. Right? It's not just the hot bath and the stingy eyes and that I'm old. Right? It's the fact that I've got a frozen shoulder coming. Now, if you remember, about 10 years ago, this one was frozen, right? For about 18 months. You have like 6 months of agony. If you touch it, it feels like your arm's coming out of its socket and you've been electrocuted and you fall on the floor and cry in agony. I used to wake up screaming where I'd rolled on it, right? And this one's getting it now, 10 years later. You can only have one in each shoulder, apparently. I don't know why. So this one's safe. And when this is over, that's it. I can sort of lift it to there. And it's got to the phase now where I'm not sleeping. It's been about a week where there's nowhere you can lay because your weight of your own shoulder, you can't lay on it. You can't even lay on the other side because the weight of the shoulder squeezes all the badness. I'm not a doctor. I've had some acupuncture, which is sort of temporary. That's as far as I can go. I couldn't be a Nazi, could I? Can't get above there. So anyway, that's why I'm tired. I've been having to schedule things around definitely having a nap at lunchtime because I know I wouldn't have slept well.
Two of probably the most foundational defining things about American history is that we beat the Confederates and we beat the Nazis. And I don't know what side people may be on today, but I still am not rocking with anyone sympathetic to Nazis. And I will do that until I am 6 feet in the ground. Like, kind of foundational to me as a human being. And so if you're cool and want to defend the Sig Heils and the Nazi salutes, all the whatever you want to do, that's on you. I'm on the opposite side of that. I'm not with the Nazis. How about that? I mean, but it's very important for us to assert these things because in times like now, what people want is for all of us to just give up. They want all of us to just give up and say, America's gone to hell in a handbasket and we're done. And just let them do what they're going to do. No. If there are no good people left in the world, I want to be the last one. And that's the ethos every single one of us can take.
I'm tired. My fucking frozen shoulder. That's as far as I can get it. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.
Where a communication is, as it were, merely offensive, grossly offensive, etc., then principles of free speech and free expression require there to be a high threshold and dictate that a prosecution is unlikely to be in the public interest in many of those cases.
The jam, eating rifles, very apt at the moment in Britain. Let's not get political. Lovely day, wouldn't it? Let's get, can't help it though, can you? Everyone's political at the moment with, well, it's not even politics, is it? It's about hypocrisy. It's about why should we do what we're told if they're not. It's as simple as that. You've got to lead by example. Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees.
where a communication is, as it were, merely offensive, grossly offensive, etc., then principles of free speech and free expression require there to be a high threshold and dictate that a prosecution is unlikely to be in the public interest in many of those cases.
And the factors which will suggest people might not be prosecuted include things like deleting it quickly if you've sobered up in the morning. Can you explain about that?
One thing that's very important in this area is that where free speech protects the subject matter, a prosecution must be proportionate. And when considering whether a prosecution is proportionate, the question of whether a communication is removed quickly, whether the individual expresses remorse, whether access to the communication is blocked, these are obviously relevant to any assessment of proportionality.
And will it be more or less likely for individuals to be prosecuted criminally now when they're using Twitter or Facebook, do you think?
It's not possible to say whether it's more or less likely. There simply haven't been enough cases. But this is clearly signalling that in those cases that are protected by freedom of expression, then there's a double safeguard, a high threshold, and consideration of the public interest before a prosecution will be brought.
This is my first reaction. I want to smash everything up in the house. I want to phone someone and say, whose fault is this? Right? You know when you get someone and it's like a tent or something, and there's one peg missing, and you think, oh, okay, I want to find the person who was talking when they put that tent together, and then someone, yeah, that's fine, sent it out. Oh, when things don't work, I want to call it. I heard this thing once. I don't know if it's true. That years ago. Marks and Spencer's, when they sort of ordered like 10,000 shirts, 10,000 jackets, 10,000 trousers, they'd open it, and if they found one that was dodgy, they'd send it all back. So those people send it out to it was their job to make sure that it was right. I agree. Why is it our job to make sure something's all right? Why isn't it checked? And same as that sign when you walk past like scaffolding, and there's like there's a sign that says beware workmen overhead, and a little picture of a falling hammer. What? So it's my problem to look out for don't drop hammers. Don't put a sign up and think, who's up there juggling hammers anyway? Don't drop your hammer, and don't put it on me. If you might walk in there, you might. Don't drop a hammer, right? That's... oh. Yeah, okay, there you go. It's so annoying, isn't it? When something doesn't work, and it just should. It just should. Oh. I had a theory that some people make things not to work forever, so you have to buy another one. I think it's a conspiracy theory in some instances, like light bulbs, because they can make ones that last for a long time. Maybe it's not. Do you think that's true? Do you think manufacturers make things to last a year and then break, so you have to buy another one? It's a good question, isn't it? It's a good question. It's not a good question. Okay, listen. I'm going to try and bring the tone up today. It's shocking. So I'm going to get a little bit highbrow today. I'm going to get political, right? Satirical, like Radio 4 or something like that, like the MASH report or something. Something smart. So some political stuff. Okay, ready? And sort of maybe impressions, sort of political, like Rory Bremner or something. Smart, just smart shit, right? Okay. This is Angela Merkel walking past like a big sticking out of a drain. Right? Political. Right, okay. Angela Merkel. Jeremy Corbyn. Walking past they're all sort of meeting somewhere, and and he walks past and he sees this same sticking out of a drain, right? And Jeremy Corbyn's like this. Right. One more sort of political, satirical impression. This wouldn't work on Radio 4 because it's more visual, but definitely, I think they definitely sort of have me, or I got news for you or something. Okay, last one. Kim Jong-un, right, walking past, right. He's all sort of hyper because he's going to test a rocket later. So he's all there with his sort of posse, and they're having a right laugh. He's having a right laugh, right there. And then he. So that's my attempt at more political, sort of, you know, international politics, the big sort of questions, but slamming politicians. Any questions? No. Oh.
If you saw the movie, the latest Top Gun movie, eerily enough, this is that plot kind of coming to fruition in real life.
The U.S. attack on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. This morning, we're getting a look at some of the damage done over the weekend. Aerial images you see there showing impact on the surface. U.S. forces around the region and authorities at home are on alert for potential retaliation from Iran, warning its military will decide the timing, nature, and scale of its response.
I like dealing with taboo subjects, you know that, because I think the audience is already tense, and I like going there. I like talking about things that some people are worried about or whatever. And I don't think they feel alienated because I'm often on their side. I'm often creating an outside enemy to them as well, you know, like oppression or cancel culture or you know, bosses, the filthy rich. So it's like us against them, I suppose, and I try and be one of them.
This is a plan that took months and weeks of positioning and preparation so that we could be ready when the President of the United States called.
The Speaker of the House, who is from your own party, has really rejected this. He says the Article 1 power of Congress really allows for the president to do this. It was a limited, necessary, targeted strike, he says.
Well, he's probably referring to the War Powers Act of 1973, but that's been misinterpreted. There was no imminent threat to the United States, which was what would authorize that. And I think that's peculiar to hear that from the Speaker of the House. Look, Congress was on vacation last week when all this was happening.
You haven't been briefed on any of
We
the
haven't been briefed. They should have called us all back. And frankly, we should have debated this War Powers resolution that Ro Khanna and I offered instead of staying on vacation and doing fundraisers and saying, oh, well, the president's got this under control. We're going to cede our constitutional authority.
What has all this been about if it does not destroy the nuclear material? Of course, what is really Channel 13 means is that the only way that you can destroy Iran's nuclear industry is by person, boots on the ground. And that is only possible if you have regime change. They've even appointed the new head of state, that fella in Los Angeles, who's never been in Iran since he was a child. He's the new head of state. And just to throw some sand in the face, there's going to be a Sunni Muslim prime minister. They've got the terrorist group, MK, They've got the rent-a-mob Kurdish factions ready to march on Tehran, but they cannot muster the 1 million strong army that they would require.
Yeah, so what we're looking at here is we're being told this is, I think, anywhere from just shy of 200 to 300 feet in depth. There are all kind of reports out there of 1,000 foot, but I think that's more propaganda. So what you end up doing is if you saw the movie, the latest Top Gun movie, eerily enough, this is that plot kind of coming to fruition in real life. It's not just one bomb. It'll be a bomb after a bomb to get through that penetration.
And just lastly, that's what you're talking about. Can penetrate up to 200 feet below the surface. And then, of course, we'll see it try and put the second one in there and go down in there. Yeah. Let's bring in David Burke, our Top Gun and former Top Gun instructor, retired U.S. Marine Corps officer. Now, David, I don't know how well we did that, but you know this better than anybody. Talk to us about, questions over whether or not this can successfully be done.
Said a lot of shit I don't understand. And if I don't understand it, you don't understand it.
I've got a queue of names I can give you. 80 countries long. 80 countries long that the United States has invaded since the end of World War II. Invaded or subverted by way of proxy armies, or assisted in the terrorist overthrow, mass murder, assassination, and other means to alter the course of the trajectory of those countries struggling to be free. So Israel can't be blamed for those, you see. It's not Israel that overthrew President Salvador Allende in Chile in 1973. It's not Israel that murdered millions of people in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos in the 1960s and 70s. It wasn't Israel that launched the Korean War. The United States has been a malignant empire since the end of the Second World War. And I could go back. There are only actually 6 years, in the hundreds of years since the American Declaration of Independence in 1776, that America has not been involved in a foreign war.
Just sort of be honest, really. So I think some people are worried about being too sincere in case they're criticised. They don't want someone to go, oh, God, how soppy.
Because the goal is not to completely subjugate Afghanistan. The goal is to use Afghanistan to wash money out of the tax bases of the United States, out of the tax bases of European countries, through Afghanistan and back into the hands of a transnational security elite. That is the goal, i.e. the goal is to have an endless war, not a successful war.
No, it's not Israel that's controlling it. It's the people who support Israel that are controlling it. And the people who support Israel are both of the sides of the Uni Party. It's in the American empire's interest to support Israel. And they ruthlessly enforce it in the ways that you've just been talking. Iran committed 2 great sins, and none of them have anything to do with nuclear. After all, when the Shah wanted to go nuclear, the American company Westinghouse successfully bid for the project to build the nuclear plants in Iran. The 2 big sins of Iran are, first of all, they are the only state, Yemen being a partial state, and others being liberation movements, resistance movements. Iran is the only state that took action to defend the Palestinian people in Gaza and to contest the absolute domination of Israel in the region. That's its number 1 sin. Its number 2 sin is that it is an indispensable linchpin in the new world that is being born. Russia, China, Iran, the Belt and Road Initiative, the North-South Corridor, the means of breaking free from hundreds of years of Western hegemony require as a hinge a free, sovereign and independent Iran.
You don't need a formal conspiracy when interests converge. These people went to the same universities and fraternities. They're on the same boards of directors. They're in the same country clubs. They have like interests. They don't need to call a meeting. They know what's good for them, and they're getting it.
If you don't like that, if you don't like the changes that we've made, I say the door is open and you can leave.
Social media sites. There are new powers here to censor your site, states Monday.
To censor my site?
To censor your site.
You mean Truth?
Truth
Social?
I mean Truth. Is that okay?
Well, I don't think he's going to censor my site because I say only good things. Will you please uncensor my site?
Yeah, we're not censoring anyone.
Some things I'm more mellow about and some things I'm more angry about. Like, I never really cared about politics. I went through the phase at sort of, 15, 16, thinking I was Che Guevara. But then you think, there's no point. But I realise the thing that makes my blood boil is obviously animal cruelty and all injustice. All those things, those documentaries I've watched where people have gone to jail for 30 years just because the prosecutor wanted to get a quick. I just think, well, what can we? They can't give them that time. So things like that, I'm more angry about than I ever was. Like wasted time when you take away someone's time. Then other things that I was probably, I don't know. I don't think I have mellowed. Because I was only ever verbally brave. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I used to go out and steal cars and get into fights. It's not like I ran a gang. I was cheeky at school, then I was cheeky at work. Now being cheeky is my job. So I haven't had to downgrade my outrageous behaviour and bravery because it was only ever verbal. So I don't think I have mellowed, no. And in many ways, I've gone the opposite way. That I think freedom of speech is a fundamental human right that all others come from. So if anything, I've got slightly more militant on the people's right to freedom of speech, which is sort of part of my job, I think. Freedom of speech. So I selfishly want that, but it happens to be the best thing for everyone.
We've got to fix that problem. We can't simply live with that problem, so it's a very different situation.
Well, we ended the estate tax. There is no estate tax on farmers. So when a parent leaves their farm, because again, a lot of these farms, they don't make a lot of money, but it's a way of life, and they love their way of life, and they love that dirt. That dirt is the most beautiful thing they've ever seen. They love it. I mean, they're farmers. They love doing it. They don't know how to do anything else, but they don't want to do anything else. I speak to farmers. I say, would you like to live in my penthouse in Manhattan? It's always beautiful. No, sir, I want this farm. Now, what happens is, we were losing a lot of people to suicide. They'd borrow money to pay the estate tax, and they were not able to pay it. And some banks are ruthless; they wouldn't do anything, and they would end up committing suicide. We have totally ended the estate tax in those situations, so there's no estate tax. So when a parent leaves the farm to the kids, they don't have to worry about their local, possibly unfriendly banker coming in and stealing their farm.
I've said to you before that a hallmark of Mussolini was that he went around the world threatening people with Germany's army. That's exactly what John Healey is doing today. Because Britain, a country that is virtually bankrupt, in fact, going bankrupt fast as we speak, literally bankrupt, unable to meet the interest payment on its colossal debt, with the IMF waiting in the wings to knock on an open door, I'm pretty sure, of yet another British Labour government. Britain is a bankrupt country with no steel industry, with no coal industry, with no shipbuilding industry, with a minuscule military-industrial complex and an even more minuscule armed forces, army, navy and air force, all comfortably fitting in the stadium of Aston Villa, a mid-table, mid-size football stadium in the English Premiership. So John Healey can't really mean that he's going to fight China. Even adding Australia to the mix, I'm not sure the Australian people were consulted before this announcement, but Healey said that Australia and Britain will fight China in the event of war erupting over Taiwan. Now, you at a push could persuade me that the side of a line Kupiansk lies on in Ukraine was my business. You could, at a push, even though it's been in 4 different countries in 100 years, you could at least persuade me to listen to the argument that after Kupiansk, other parts of Europe will be imperiled. But what the actual F have we got to do with Taiwan? Taiwan, Taipei, where is it? What is it? Do you eat it? Do you lick it? Do you drive it? Taipei, your son may die in defense of Taipei. What madness is this? A Labour government, a British government that is about to abolish the old age pension as it has been known for a century because we can't afford to pay it. You're going to get a quarter of it when you're 67, and you're going to get the balance when you're 72 because we can't afford to pay it. We couldn't afford the cold weather payments for our old age pensioners during last year's bitter winter. We don't have the money. What madness is this? A country that is on its knees whilst handing over billions of pounds to the thief of Kiev, spending millions of pounds, flying reconnaissance missions for a genocide in Gaza, is going to go to war with China, the People's Liberation Army, the most gigantic army the world has ever known, the People's Liberation Navy, the biggest navy the world has ever known, 1.5 billion Chinese. Where do you think you are? Up the Yangtze? Do you know what happened? Healy, the last time Britain sailed a warship up the Yangtze, the Chinese sunk it in 1949. And China is, by a scale unfathomable, more powerful, more wealthy, more numerous in 2025. And you little runt, are using our country's name to threaten China with war. What kind of madness is this? Who was consulted on this? Did Parliament agree to this? I know that they would, but the contempt shown for British democracy is such that even a rubber-stamped Parliament is not asked to endorse this kind of madness. This little runt who's never heard a shot fired in anger in his miserable puff is threatening war with China on your behalf, at your expense, and with the blood of your sons and your daughters. I'm beside myself with rage at this lunatic government that we have got. the most unpopular government there has ever been in British history. They're up to their necks in the genocide in Gaza. They're up to their necks in the bloodshed in Ukraine. And now we're setting sail for yet another war. Well, up with it, I will not put, as I said, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to put up with it. So let me tell you, John, it will be over my dead body that Britain will go to war with China. Let me tell you, John, if it's your plan, as it must be, to conscript Britain's young people to fight these ever-growing wars that you continue to threaten people with, then we will do everything. We will throw everything, including our bodies, including our lives, to stop you from doing it.
Can you discuss the importance of free speech today?
Well, free speech is very important. I don't know if you're referring to any place in particular. Perhaps they are, but
we've had free speech for a very, 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 very long time here, so we're very proud about that.
Well, what's your advice on the small boats crisis in this country? How would you deal with it? What's your advice on dealing with the small boats crisis in this country?
It's about the boats coming over the channel, so we're taking a lot of action to stop people coming over the channel who shouldn't be here, stopping them coming in the first place.
Well, look, immigration is a big factor.
The Smiths, Cemetery Gates, one of my favourites. Sort of a, how are you? So, I better get on because there's so many questions. It's ridiculous. And I'm not going to have time to chat. I'm going to try and answer all these. I'm not going to get them all. There's been like thousands. But I'll try and get through some of them because I don't want to let down some dog halfway around the world. That's what I've been reduced to. Right, Julia, what is the best show you've ever seen at the theatre? Noise is off. Unbelievable. Is it Michael Frayn? Unbelievable. Just halfway through, I was thinking, it doesn't need to be this good. So it's got to be a good production because it's a delicate, complicated play. And I saw a great one. I think it was the Old Vic. I think it was Celia Emery. Yeah, a great cast. So see Noise is off. And I also saw Mike McKean in, is it Our Town, an American classic in New York. And I saw a thing called Blam, which was like, almost like a cross between The Office and Sam Peckinpah. It was just like action and a fantasy thing set in an office with like gymnasts. But I think Noise is Off wins best theatre experience. Mum and Sherlock, what triggered, inspired you to write Afterlife? Or is it something thought of a long time? Well, it was sort of an evolution. The first idea, I thought I should do a sitcom. So that's the general thing. And then I thought of what's funny is people telling the truth. I've always found that. But restrictions of society, you can't tell the truth these days. And I was thinking, but what if you didn't care? What if you didn't care about the consequences? Oh, what if you were, you didn't care about living? So those were the sort of evolution. That's what would make you not care about living? Oh, losing the love of your life. And all that happens, in a few moments. And but that was I remember that was the seeds of the idea, and then it evolved from there. Brenda, what happened to Derek's mum? And does he have any siblings? Well, in my head, Derek's mum died. He lived with her, but he died, and then she died. And as you know, his dad sort of left him when he was little. And I was thinking about giving him a sibling, but then I thought it was funnier or not funnier, but sweeter, and that the people at the home was his family. And I think a sitcom has to be about a family, either literally or metaphorically. So that's why I didn't really give him any family. So yeah. Laughing old lady. If all animals could talk, which one would be the rudest? Well, cats sprung to mind, but they'd be more sarcastic, wouldn't they? Rude, just rude. It would be like the equivalent of the troll. A snake? No, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care, would they? Keep themselves. Spiders? No. What would be the rudest animal? Do you know, it might be the cat. It might well be the cat. Hyena? That would just take the piss, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's the cat. Things like the sharks and that, they're not rude, are they? They just eat you. The cat just to be rude. Welsh Felix. What's my favourite film composer or film score? Oh, Braveheart. I think that's a great film score. If you don't mean, you mean a musical score as opposed to like, you know, Muppet Christmas Carol that's got great songs. I'd say Braveheart, Schindler's List, and Scent of a Woman. I thought it was great, the score of that. Really worked well. Yeah, some bit like you notice, others you don't notice, which is not, you know, that's not a bad thing. But yeah, I think those Braveheart and Schindler's List are, I think, remarkable. Gunnar, we're getting through this, aren't we? I'm trying to get everyone's question. I must slow down a bit. I'll slow down a bit. The pressure. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't need to do this. It's fun though. It's the first time for ages where we've had a bit of sunlight. Right. Okay, here we go. Gunnar. Have you ever gotten in trouble for rolling in something stinky? It smells so good, but you get in trouble. No. We don't do that as humans. Although, having said that, I've got into cabs before, or lifts, and the fucking perfume or aftershave. It burns your lungs. It makes me angry because they can't smell it anymore. They douse it, and some perfumes and aftershaves are fucking horrible. So they've voluntarily splashed that on them and then walked around taking the fucking oxygen out of the air. So yeah, that's one thing you can't get away from it, can you? You can, like on a plane or something, if someone's got terrible aftershave or perfume, or just stinks. One bloke I was next to took his shoes off. He absolutely fucking stank. Nothing you can do about it. Up your nose. You can shut your eyes, put earplugs in, but you've got to breathe. That's the annoying thing. But no, maybe I've had horrendous aftershaves in my time. I don't really wear them anymore though. Just shampoo and bubble bath. My eyes aren't stinging today because I didn't have a bath. I had a shower because it's a bit warm. If you're interested. Susie, I'm in hospital again with a snot-curdling cunt and noisy eater opposite. Any coping tips? That's so funny. I was just talking about that. I mean, it's earplugs. It's earplugs or, you know, iPod. Even then, I'm slightly angry that I've had to do something about it as opposed to them. But in the long run, it's better. Just, or be more annoying than them. That's how I often get through life. When there's 7 billion people on the planet and half of them are probably annoying, right? That's a lot of people. So I have to try and be more annoying. I've tried to rule it out of my life. That's the only reason I've earned money. I need a detached house in the middle of a field. So no one can annoy me. Oh dear. Annabelle, is there a song that gives you happy tears every time you hear it? Oh. I don't know. There's a piece of music that sort of makes me sort of well up, and there's no association to it, just the chords. Well, maybe the one I can't remember, but it's Vaughan Williams, 5 Variants. I don't know why. It just, I don't know. It's it reminds me of like childhood and the countryside and stuff. Not that I listen to classical music or live in the countryside, but there's something about it. Must have some sort of association in my brain. And there's tunes that would make me like Jim Reeves reminds me of my mum and things like that. But there's no song really that makes me happy cry. Songs that make me happy. And context, I suppose. Like some of the songs I use in Afterlife, in context. Like there's a piece of music that Animals Asia put on a little tribute to Ollie, and I listen to that, and I well up, and I'm remembering little Ollie, but also you sort of remember their kindness that someone did it. So that's an association, and it's a beautiful tune. Yeah, there's a few probably. Right, Teddy, here we go. Have you ever saved a really tasty snack for later, only to go back and find someone else has eaten it? Well, that someone else can only be Jane, and I eat way too fast. The opposite would be true. Jane would have left a tasty snack, and she'd go, "Where's my taste?" I go, "I've eaten it." So, Teddy, it's a dog-eat-dog world. You got to eat it first. You got to eat that food before. Pickle eats her food really fast because she was in a rescue situation with like 17 other cats and a dog. And I think she thought, when I've got food, I've got to eat it now. So we have to give it to her in sort of thirds, so she doesn't just wolf it down and throw it up. Oh dear. Titch. Do dogs from other countries woof in that language? Idiot. Although, obviously they don't say woof in different languages, but there are different dialects apparently of animals depending on where they are, different herds and stuff. They found it with cows. Like cows in different parts of the country, they don't pick up the dialect of the place, but because they're separated and through sort of evolution, things change very slightly. So, yeah, a herd of cows after many generations in Scotland would be different to a herd of cows in Southampton, where there'd be minor changes that, through sort of, group selection. So the answer's sort of yes, there probably are slight differences, yeah. But a dog from England would go, that dog's from Greece. You know what I mean? They just go, slightly different bark. I still get it though. It smells right. It's one of us. Bit of dog psychology there. Dougal. Bonjour, Monsieur Ricky. Why are dogs loyal? Good question. I've heard the story about Hachiko, the Akita, who waited at a train station for his master. Sadly, his master died from a cerebral hemorrhage, but he waited for 9 days. Yeah, there's something about the dog's brain that's similar to ours in terms of like sort of social emotions, and they're fantastic. They pick up signals. They can tell when you're sad and sort of happy. But I don't know. I don't know when we started being friends. We obviously evolved them somewhere from wolves, but I don't know. You'd have to ask some sort of evolutionary zoologist. But it is true, they are loyal. I mean, they're loyal. I don't know why they like people either. Lucky though, isn't it? It was great, that. Here she is, Bella. Earlier this week, I turned myself fluorescent yellow from doing zoomies in a field of buttercups. You're going to change colour from doing a particular activity, but what will it be and why? Well, I've always got rosy cheeks. That's not just from being fat and hot. I think red wine is escaping. So I think eventually I'll turn a lovely shade of burgundy. I'd be happy with that. Because flamingos are pink because the shrimps they eat, aren't they? So I think the most dominant colour in my diet would be red wine. Everything else is pretty, bread and spuds and pasta. It's all sort of, beige, isn't it? But yeah, a full-bodied red wine. That's the colour I'd eventually become, I reckon. Also, fat and hot, blood pressure, all that, stress. So, I reckon that better. Susan, what has been your personal highlight from filming season 3 of Afterlife? Oh my God, so many, but I think the best day, and this is probably nothing to do with the scene or the filming or anything like that, but the best day was last Thursday. Oh, is this a spoiler? No, it's not a spoiler. I can do it without. Anyway, I get to play tennis. And of course, when you're filming something that takes an hour, it takes 4. So I got to play on and off tennis for half a day. And I tried to make it real. I didn't want to fake anything because I can play. So I wanted to show it. So hopefully people know that that's not camera trickery. Those really are my fat little legs running fast and hitting the ball that well. It's like I think someone's going to go, who's that lad? That's Ricky Gervais, sir. He should be at Wimbledon. He's nearly 60 and he's fat. And he had to sit down after this. Oh, okay. So yeah, I think that. And obviously, Auntie features a bit more, the dog. So it shows that lovely relationship between one man and his dog type thing. Again, very subtly. It's not a Disney thing. There's no tricks, but there's bits that are just about how the dog saved me, and that was lovely to film. Scarlett, talking of lovely dogs, is Scarlett, the little rescue beagle. I love listening to your new podcast. Absolutely mental. Thanks, Scarlett. Why do you think some humans believe us dogs don't think? I believe we do have doggy thoughts. And we have amazing dreams when our legs move. As if we're running fast. I love that. I love seeing a dog dreaming it's chasing a rabbit or something. Maybe it's not dreaming that. Maybe we just assume it's dreaming that. But maybe it's dreaming it's like escaping from the police after stealing sausages from a butcher's. You don't know, do you? Then it wakes up and it thinks, fuck, the police are. You go, calm down, the police aren't after you. The sausages are yours. I go, oh, cheers. Cheers. We just assume they're dreaming, chasing the squirrel, but it could be anything, couldn't it? They could be dreaming they're in Chariots of Fire and they would win. Any dog would win the 100 metres, wouldn't it? It doesn't matter. That the average dog can run faster than Usain Bolt. Isn't that amazing? Even, you know what I mean? Well, probably not a Chihuahua or a sausage dog, but I've just dissed two breeds there. But you know what I mean? Oh dear. Thanks, Scarlett. And well done for keeping fighting against cruel and pointless animal testing. I think we're getting somewhere. Keena, the themes of your TV shows resonate strong spiritual, philosophical messages. Is this something you do consciously? Yes, but it's not. I'm not getting things off my chest, you know, because I try and sort of keep it balanced and keep it fair, and I'm not doing it just to take out of things. It's an upshot of the type of thing I do, because I sort of try and my characters real, and people are complicated and different, and I like an honesty to it. Then those things crop up. They have to crop. You couldn't do a piece that didn't somehow reflect people's fear of death or organised religion. It's everywhere. Spirituality, those things are everywhere. It's like me ignoring people, you know, going to the pub or having family problems. They're a big, massive part of society, whether we like it or not. So they do crop up. So that's why I include them. Not just to discuss them, which is fun, but because it would be weird. It would be weird for me to have done, you know, loads of series and films and never talk about death and spirituality and, you know, all those things. But I am very interested in them as well. I'm interested in why people, you know, I know why people fear death, but why they think that gets them out of it. But we go into that a lot more on Absolutely Mental. It's still fun, but we really get into the nitty gritty of it. It's nice to use my philosophy degree now and again as well. I think Sam Harris has got 2 degrees though, so he wins. Leopold and Loveday. What's the best thing you've ever discovered? It could be an object, an idea, a person, or a cool place. Wow. Right, these things are the first thing that springs to mind. Right, the best things I've discovered. Science and nature, the world, dogs, animals in general. Wine. Let's break it down. An object. An object would be probably something like a radio or a record player, because music is just the greatest art form. Art in general, but music is. So music, an idea. Oh, an idea. Well, the discipline of science is incredible. You know, evidence-based induction and logic as an idea. Follow the evidence. You know, think. You know, rationality. I think. So what have we got? We've got music, rationality, a person. A person. Well, obviously, friends and family aside, it'd be someone like, I don't know, Bertrand Russell or Christopher Hitchens, or one of those people that put forward free thought and discovery and honesty and bravery, all those things, and a cool place, Amsterdam, and most of Scandinavia. I mean, the whole world's got brilliant bits and shit bits. Every country's got brilliant bits and shit bits. But I was blown away by New York, you know. But I'll go Amsterdam. My latest discovery is probably Amsterdam, Copenhagen. Right, last question. Freya, what's the funniest thing Carl ever said? Well, he said a few, but I liked it when it was just sort of like when he was shocked by something and blurted something out that he didn't understand, which I would try and do. I'd try and quickly throw things at him to make him sort of. I wouldn't just calmly. Nothing he said, I'd go, oh, that's interesting. I'd try and fluster him. I think, in fact, one thing that really still tickles me, and there was a third party involved, was in an Idiot Abroad, the special, the third season, which is the special, and I think he was about to do some sort of abseil down a building with Warwick Davis, and they were sitting there and they were talking, and then Carl just interrupted himself and looked at Warwick and said, genuinely, have you got knees? Yeah, yes he has, Carl, because he's a human being. What do you mean, has he got knees? So that really tickled me, and Warwick.
Can you sit down on the edge?
I can't get any nearer the edge because I've got tension.
Where's your knees? Have you got knees?
Yeah, I have, yeah. We've done this whole thing together.
Well, look at all those questions I got through. I'm sorry if I didn't get to yours. In general, a lot of the questions were, how was afterlife? It was great. What's next? Well, you know. So editing this, promoting this, finishing off Supernature, filming Supernature, promoting that. You know, those two things are like being nearly a year. More Absolutely Mental podcast. Those three things are my next year. And then after that, I don't know. I've got it down to 2 or 3 ideas. And I have to put it out of my head what I'm going to do next, because I should be concentrating on this. Yeah, just keep working there. Just keep working. Just keep working. Doing things you love, earning money to live, and buy lots of food and red wine until you die. And if you can help a few animals along the way, that's been a good life, hasn't it? So, cheers, everyone. Oh yeah, and think of some good questions for Sam Harris. I think it's at 4 when I ask him some of your stupid fucking questions, and it really throws him. It's funny to see an intellectual get flustered. Anyway, there you go. It's going to be old, isn't it, by the time I do it? Although when you deal in sort of classic stuff, like Hitler and AIDS, it's evergreen. So, tatty bye, everyone. Be nice to animals. Neil Young, Heart of Gold. Saturday, isn't it? Probably gonna stay in. Usually on a Saturday. Oh fuck! Party time, mental. I'm like, you just like. Nah, staying. I stay in every Saturday. For the last sort of 20 or so years. Anyway, but I wanna stay in tonight anyway. There's a lovely episode of Porridge, which is a classic British sitcom for anyone around the world. It's a prison comedy, and it's about this guy called Fletcher who he's an habitual, and he gets this young guy, Godber, in his cell, and you realise that his job is trying to make this kid not make the same mistakes. He's sort of a father figure to him. And it might even be the first episode where, to make this kid feel better, he goes, "Should we go out tonight?" And the kid goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, let's just go down to the pub and then after we can go for a curry." And he goes, what would you have? What are you having? What would you? And they talk about it. And then Fletcher just goes, "No, let's just have a quiet night in." It's really sweet. So that's what we're doing now, isn't it? We're just having a quiet night in. I asked for some questions, didn't I? So look what I've got. I've got a few here. Emma Dolan, the film you love. That's a really good one. I don't know. Because if I love them, I probably don't think they're... I don't know, you mean like a guilty pleasure? I suppose I watch films on purpose and know they're on planes. Like, that's the only time I watch a film about, I don't know, one man saving America from, a foreign force or aliens or something. That's when I watch one of those daft things. I think I've watched both of those. Was it London Has Fallen, then LA Has Fallen? I watched both of those on a plane. But then you get a little gem that's meant to be, escapism. But it's really like the perfect aeroplane film for me is Limitless. Amazing. I loved it. I watched it twice. Watched it on the plane and then got it on DVD. So yeah. I'll watch on an aeroplane. When you've got 7 or 8 hours, you want a bit of escapism, and you let it off a little bit more because altitude. You go, yeah, that's all right, isn't it? Free champagne. Go on. Sheila Hodgkins says, "What's your favourite book you've ever read, and are you reading anything now?" Now, I've got to confess, I assume, which means like novels, and I never have read novels, really, or fiction, unless I had to for like O-level or something. I've read one novel sort of by choice as an adult, which was Catcher in the Rye, and I absolutely loved it. But it was like doing a marathon. I just sort of think, right, I've done it now. I've done that. I read a book. Yeah, I haven't got the right brain for fiction because I think my own thoughts kick in. They get in the way what I do. I do read, but I read non-fiction. I read science and philosophy. And if I'm walking along and I think of something, I want to know the answer. So I'll come home and Google it and read all about it. Like the other day, I was thinking, hold on, when I'm in a plane and you go through the clouds and it says external temperature minus 50 degrees, you're going through the clouds, which are water vapour, but at mine, how are they not frozen? And if they're frozen, how do they stay up there? How does ice float? I'm not going to tell you the answer, but I came back and I learned all about clouds. So that's what I do. What was your favourite Christopher Hitchens moment? I love Hitchens. There's too many. It was so good. It was so good. Well, I got a personal moment where he wrote to me, he got my email and he wrote to me and he invited me for a pint when I was next in Washington, and I never got around to it. Yeah, he was great. Ollie is the best. Asks, how are you feeling? Fine. Are you painting anything new? No. It's so funny. Like, it was about maybe 2 weeks ago, I was going past the art shop in Hampstead. I thought, I'll get a new canvas. And then I didn't. And then a couple of days later, obviously all the shops shut. Apart from non-essentials, which art equipment isn't essential. Imagine getting caught out from the curfew. What are you doing now? I need some magenta. I need some titanium white. I've run out. Yeah, people keep asking me. I've said this before. Can I bring forward Afterlife 2? Can't do it. They can't do it. I've checked. So watch Afterlife 1 again. Is there anyone watching this who hasn't watched Afterlife, the first season? I can't. I mean, I find that hard to believe after all I've done for you that you haven't watched. Arguing my greatest artistic achievement. So watch that. Before that, though, when everyone's been watching The Invention of Lying again, which went on Netflix this year, so that's lovely. It's like 10 years old, and had a new lease of life. So thanks for that. Invention of Lying. Watch that if you haven't watched it. Afterlife. Invention of Lying. Ghost Town comes to Netflix on the 1st of April. My first movie. My first lead in a movie. And that's very, very sweet. A very sweet film. Really feel good, magical. It's not Christmassy, but it's got that vibe of It's a Wonderful Life or something like that. Ghost Town, 1st of April. This turns out to be just a big plug, isn't it? It's a Ricky Netflix this month. Willoughby's, my first animated feature as a producer, and I play the cat, of course, based on Ollie. And that's April 22nd, and then the big one, Afterlife 2, April 24th. People were planning sort of watching parties, but now that's unless it's your family you're self-isolating with. And if someone you know hasn't got Netflix, give him your password. Is that allowed? I think Netflix are all right with that, aren't they? Give them your password. Or is that too tricky? Do I have to know too much? Or if you've got a relative who hasn't got Netflix or can't afford it, and buy it for them. That's what a lovely gift. What a lovely gift in these times of trouble. Buy someone you know Netflix for a couple of months so they can watch all the best programs and Afterlife. Then they can watch. What a lovely idea. I feel emotional that I've come up with such a such a beautiful idea, but is absolutely no skin off my nose. That doesn't cost me anything. Oh dear. I'll say hello to some people. Oh, here we go again. Look at that. I look like a little mole coming out of the ground, and it's sunnier than I thought. Trying to read your names. Can't wait. Derek. Oh, the award room. No, it's just no. Well, yeah, but it's my study in my house, not my office. That's not in my house, my office. This is just my little. It's sort of, I don't know. It's got a desk. I'm sitting at my desk, and there's lots of awards. Everyone share Netflix. It's a great idea. Oh, someone's just said sharing Netflix in America is illegal. Will I get in trouble? Don't do that then. But you can, I don't know, you share it with the family, can't you? Can't you have on different devices? Oh, just buy it for them then. Is that legal? Can someone buy someone else Netflix? Of course you can. I saw that question that I did, the 3 people who'd like to be self-isolated with, doing the rounds, and I foolishly chose Winston Churchill, Sir Isaac Newton, and a random caveman, because I said, the caveman wouldn't know who the other 2 were, and then someone pointed out, yeah, but Isaac Newton wouldn't know who Churchill was. It's a good point. I'd introduce them. What else? Any questions? Do the dance. I can't do the dance. Too weak and old. I saw people making jingles out of the stupid things I said. That's always nice. I have 2 golden retrievers. I love dogs. Yeah, I love dogs. Oh, it's so frustrating when you go out for your bit of exercise once a day. All the dogs I used to scruffle. You've got to keep away from people. Sort of way. The dog's thinking, what the I don't know. Sing Hamster on a piano. I'll post a link. It's from Derek. What's Derek? Derek. Nobody's this bored yet. Can I do an impression? Can I? Who do you want? I'll do any impression you want. Call them out. Just call out any impression. I'm like a fucking chameleon. Right? Go on. Right, first one, call an impression out, right? Right, Clint Eastwood, okay? Oh, go ahead, punk. Make my day. Go on. Try. See what you... Go on, another one. That's Clint Eastwood. Everyone knows who that is. I didn't have to say it. I'll do one without having to say it, right? Okay? Okay, yeah, right. Okay, I won't say it. So who's this? Are you looking at me? It seems like you've been looking at me. Yeah, you better not be looking at me. Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver. What else? Come on, anyone you want, as hard as you like. Even. Oh yeah, okay. Though this is tough. No, I can't do that. I'll do that. This is too tough. Only because I can't speak German. That probably gives you a clue who they wanted me to do, and I don't want to do any hand gestures because someone has screen grab it. Liam Neeson. Okay, right, I'll do that. Right, I will find you, and I will kill you. How? Liam Neeson. Bill Cosby. No. No, come on. watching. Come on. Al Pacino. Right, okay, yeah. I can do him in Scent of Woman.
Hoo-ah! Right. I can't see, so give us a hand. Give us a hand round here, will you? Hoo-ah. Ah. Oh, what are you wearing? What is that on? I like it. I like it. Hoo-ah!
Marilyn Monroe. Oh yeah, that's tough. I'll do it when she was singing Happy Birthday to Kennedy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Really? The people, they're going to be very similar. Right, here they come. No, not doing Rolf Harris, not doing Jimmy Savile. In fact, they're ones you can actually do quite easily, can't you? Prince Andrew, good one. Gordon Ramsay.
Right. Yeah, I'm not paying you. I can chop these nuts in. Right? How?
Gordon Ramsay. Abe Lincoln.
No, I won't take my hat off. I'm watching the play. How?
The Queen. That's tough. That is tough.
He's a what? Dirty little.
That'll do, won't it? Stay well. Watch telly. See you tomorrow. Cheers.